What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 1, debut episode of General Manager Mode. Not the General Manager Mode you expect of me on this channel, particularly usually a wrestling General Manager Mode. However, we are playing NBA General Manager Mode at the moment because this is how I would expect a wrestling General Manager Mode to be. So if you do want to see me play General Manager Mode on wrestling, watch these videos. Tell NBA or tell WWE to make their General Manager Mode better, and I will certainly play that. However, we are playing NBA General Manager Mode, and in this mode, we are going to take over the Portland Trailblazers. And here are the settings. Difficulty will be on Hall of Fame. The team was randomly chosen. We are taking over the Portland Trailblazers. There will be 12 minutes per game in simulation and in playing. The goal, championship year 1. That is what I want. I want a championship this year. I've said this multiple times. I am not someone who waits and builds a team. I am a man who builds a team mid-season and goes for a championship that year. I want to win. If there's a title to be won, damn it, I want to win it. Alright, so this owner of the Portland Trailblazers is Scott Blake. He wants high success and he also wants high team/organization morale. So, that's what I plan to give him. Let's start with the team goals. He wants to sell out 14 home games, but he didn't give me a whole lot of budget for promotion. So, for the opening game, we are going to have that $1 million shoot prize to drum in fans. We want a big opening game. We want to get really excited for the upcoming Portland Trailblazers season. And we're going to be successful by hook or by crook. I went all out. I did all the research on how to beat this game mode. I've got some tips, and I am going to run with it, and you're going to see them being employed in this game. So, he wants us to sell out 14 home games, and that's totally okay. Lose no more than 28 games this season, which means we have to win at least 54. Alright, that's a crazy high expectation, especially in the West, where it's, a lot of great teams. However, we promise him we will get that done. Final goal, he wants us to attain a draft pick. And I'm thinking, since Robin Lopez immediately off the bat is injured for about a month and a half to 2 months, maybe we'll make a deal with Robin Lopez. Especially after the first recording, I felt like we don't need a big man, so I think Robin Lopez is a piece that we can trade away to get a first-round draft pick, make our general manager, or our owner, I guess, a very happy boy. Okay, let's move on to staff evaluations. I looked at Coach Stotts. He seemed okay. Terry Stotts seems like an okay coach. He wasn't too fond of me coming in. I had to bump him up a bit. I boosted the confidence of some of my staff members because this owner wants happy morale. And I feel like it's happy morale when the coaches are happy. The coaches are happy, the players are happy. The players are happy, they're going to win games, and then I'm happy. Then the owner's happy. Then everybody else in continuation gets happy, and everyone's happy, and we have high team chemistry, high morale. So that's what I'm looking for, and I had to boost some of those coach stats for their appreciation of me. This season in Portland, we're not going to be focusing on scouting, even though I am going to watch the social media. I am going to be very, very careful about who I want, because this owner wants me to get a first-round draft pick for this upcoming draft. I may as well know who the hell I'm drafting. So, one of the big tips I learned online, pay attention to the scouting reports throughout the year. Pay attention to the mock drafts, the big board, pay attention to that stuff. And as you go through the season, your team will be accurately scouting the correct people that may fall into your draft when it comes to be draft time. So that's something you're going to be seeing me do. Another thing I want to mention is this series has no structure. I'm going to be playing 1-hour session, and in that session I will edit down the highlight points that I want to show you. This week we have 13 highlighted spots. We go through about 6 games, I think, so quite a bit happens in an hour of this game. So I only assume this first season to take about 10 episodes tops. If we make playoffs, maybe 12 tops. So we'll see how it works out. So staff evaluations, we no focusing on scouting. So as I said, for the first game, we contacted our chief financial officer, the CFO, promotion per episode. This is what I want to do. Every episode, every session that I do, I want to bring in the chief financial officer, and I want to have him do a promotion to drum up fan interest. Now, fan interest is pretty much at an all-time high right now. I think it's pretty high. We opened up the opening game with a $1 million shot promotion, and that's one of the best ones you can do. It costs a lot, and it earns you a lot in return. So for the next episode, I'll probably do one of the lower ones, maybe a family night or something like that. But I want to do those once every episode, which means once about every 6 to 10 games, which seems okay. It seems fine. Every 2 weeks, have a promotion to drum up fan interest, and that is what this owner wants. Therefore, I am putting it in my game plan. Okay, team evaluation now. Lopez, he is injured, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to use him, especially in the first maybe 3 or 4 episodes of this series. But Robin Lopez is injured, and as I said before, I may want to use him to attain a first-round draft pick. He's a big name, and I think I can get something out of him. We'll have to see if that opens up. But for now, I'm going through every single one of these players. Robin Lopez, he's injured. I want to keep his practice levels down. I didn't set it to a low intensity at first when he was injured because I forgot to, but I should have. So whenever we have a practice, he will be practicing. He'll be focusing on rehabbing his injury. He'll be focused on getting healed up quicker than normal. This is another huge tip if you want to be successful in this series. You must go in and individually set your player's training regimen. You do not want to just control it by a team. It's the lazy thing, it's the easy way out, but eventually come by the end of the season, you're going to have your star player, let's say Damian Lillard, say, hey, we're working way too hard. And then one of your rookies who doesn't play too much say, hey, we're not working hard enough, we need to keep going. And eventually you're going to come in and pass, and your players are going to hate you, you're going to break promises, and it's not going to be very good. So I've played about 3 years of a GM mode before this in the past couple of days during Christmas break, and I've kind of learned the tendencies, and that is one of them. You must go in individually, take the time to individually figure out what regimen each single player needs to go through. Robin Lopez is injured. He needs to practice on a very low intensity and focus on rehab injury. Chris Kaman, he's already an offensive juggernaut. That's what he came in as an offensive specialty. So I want to focus on him on defense this year. I'm going to try to train him in his defensive side, get him more rebounds, get him more blocks, more on-the-ball defense around the post. Damian Lillard, a stud. This guy is above average in almost every single category. So you just kind of want to train him on IQ, keep him in that superstar range. Wes Matthews, this guy, surprisingly, the former Jazzman, I know a little bit about him. This guy was a surprise. He is killing it in almost every single category. This is a guy who won't take a huge contract, but can deliver a huge contract player's stats. And that is what I found out by looking at his statistics and his overalls. Which means I want to push this guy to the moon. I want Wesley Matthews this year, as one of my goals, to be a standout player. And that might very well happen if I give him the correct minutes, give him the correct players to associate himself with. Okay, moving right along, we got to go to pricing. If I'm the general manager of the Portland Trailblazers and I'm drumming up fan interest and I want fans to be in my arena, they're going to have to pay a pretty penny. I am giving out a promotion per episode, which means every 6 to 10 games. And to do that, I'm going to need capital. I'm going to need money. So tickets are being bumped up to $51, parking at $15. We've got a hot dog for $6.50, a soda for $5, and if you want a little bit of an ice cream, you got a $2 ice cream there. So we're going to be making some money. I raised the prices on the hot dog, soda, parking, and tickets. Lowered it on the ice cream. Of course, it's gonna be a killer with the kids. Kids up in Portland love ice cream. My niece and nephew live in near Portland, and they love ice cream, so hey, that's what I'm drawing on. Cheap ice cream means more sales, means more kids going to the games, which means more family events, which means more money for this organization. So here we go. Opening game, we're facing OKC. It's the opening game, the $1 million shot. We've got fan attendance up the woo-ha, and here we go. This is how I'm going to be doing these games. I'm going to be simulcasting this. So it means that if at any point in the game I feel I need to interject myself into the game, I will do that. And that is what we do with well, that's not what we did with OKC, but OKC falling to Portland 121-100. Opening game at home, home opener, Portland winning 21 points over OKC and Kevin Durant. In this game, however, LaMarcus Aldridge severely sprains his ankle. He will be on the shelf for about 4 weeks or so. But what ends up happening is I'm going to play him a little more, just lower his play time, give it to some of the other players. He can play on this injury. What I'm going to do is readjust his minutes in his rotation, and I need to focus on healing his leg. That's another big man down. So now we have to focus on some of our lower players, Darrell Arthur, and one of our very low players on the totem pole. I think his name was Joel something. So I'm still learning names. But that's what we had to do. We've got to lower his minutes. LaMarcus Aldridge is injured right now, one of our star players, and hopefully this doesn't impact the beginning of our season. Opening night, him getting a huge injury like that. Okay, so then we move on. Portland at Sacramento. Alright, we end up winning this game 90-81. Very low-scoring game here as we win, and we're up to 2-0. That was a very alright game. Very cool, very cool. Alright, we go to our next game. Golden State Warriors coming to Portland, and here we go. We've got highlights. 150 left to go. Chris Kaman laying it up, giving us a little bit of an advantage here. We're trying to keep the lead over the Golden State Warriors. This team is a powerhouse this season in real life. There's no reason that we can't rule them out in this simulation game, that they'll be a powerhouse as well. 105, double team. I pass it on down, and we once again get a nice easy score down low, maintain the lead. 30 seconds left to go. It's a 5-point game. Blazers win because now we're playing the free throw game. We win 99-92, and that is a 3-game win streak for us. Alright, so now what I'm going to be jumping to is lowering the practice for LaMarcus Aldridge and Lopez. This is when I kind of goofed up. I should have been lowering their practice intensity right off the bat as soon as they were injured, so they got a couple of days of more intense practices and playtime. Also, CJ McCollum gets injured here during practice, I think. Injured ankle, day-to-day, very minor. I readjust his time for about the next game, maybe a day or two or so. And so we're going to get some of our lower players also bumping up into the starting lineup, giving them more minutes, even against the recommendations given to us by the game itself. So here we go. Cleveland coming to town. Cleveland at Portland. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. We need to deny LeBron the easy score, and that is exactly what we do. We do not let him get that easy score. He shoots 2, and he only makes 1 of those, giving the Cleveland Cavaliers a 1-point lead. 1:55 left. Once again, we deny LeBron. Tied game, 106-106. 1:40 left. A layup by Love gives us the advantage. 1:30 in the game. Lillard, jam, 108-108. 1:15 left in the game. LeBron frustrated. Portland up by 1. 47 seconds left. Aldridge fouls out Thompson. Portland up by 2. 15 seconds left to go. Cleveland Cavaliers tie the game. 1 more play here, and Aldridge hits a game winner on that severely sprained ankle, giving us the win 110-112. Portland have won 4 games in a row to start off the season. Excellent. Very good. We're in a great position so far. Alright, so the next segment here, we're going Coach Stotts recommends changes for the Mavs game. The Mavericks are our rivals. Coach Stotts, very worried about our game plan. I went in, followed the recommendations that were given to me as much as I could, And of course, that worked out. Dallas falls to Portland 96-114. 5-game win streak. Press asking us, is this streak gonna continue? Me being a confident GM that I am, of course it is. It is going to continue, absolutely. But here we go. Clippers upsetting the streak here. Portland falls 5-1 to end this session. I had to jump in the fourth quarter. We were down by 12. I was trying to jump back up. I didn't have faith that our simulation would catch us back up to where we needed to be. I tried to take over. We ended up losing the game 100-117. By the end of the game, we were down by like 20 points, and I just wanted to get to 100 points. I wanted to boost our points, and I wanted to get to 100. That was my goal. I knew we were going to lose the game. I just wanted our players to show, hey, even though we lost, we still kicked your ass. Alright, so the Clippers upset the streak. Portland falling 5-1, and that's a hell of a start. What a great start for Hall of Fame difficulty. My first time really ever seriously taking GM mode in a serious sense, and I'm pretty damn proud of what I accomplished in this first thing. And to end the first session, here are the statistics. Trailblazers, second best in the West. No undefeated teams right now in the league, so it could make for an exciting season, as many of the teams have already lost a game. Well, all the teams have already lost a game, and that could fluctuate as the season goes along. 2 of the top 10 of our players are, well, 2 players of ours are in the top 10 for jersey sales. That's very exciting, and I think it's Aldridge and Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard and Wesley Matthews, 2 of the top players in their respective positions, which I believe is a shooting guard and a point guard. So that's excellent. We've got 2 of the top players. We've got Aldridge, another top player. He's just kind of injured out, kind of strolling on by in the season. And I think we're doing a hell of a job. So General Manager Mode, Episode 1, we did a great job. We got a 5-game win streak to open up our first 5 games. We're drumming up fan expectation. Our owner's getting happy. Our coach staff is being a little more lenient to us. We boosted their appreciation of us a bit. All of our team right now is sitting at about a high 70s, low 80s appreciation of me as well. And the only team we've lost to is a pretty powerful Clippers team. So I am not upset at all. Great session, and, well, that being said, Derek D. Ginger King for General Manager Mode. Checking out. Stay tuned for Episode 2.